Yeah.
So the SEC Growth ModelOps staff meeting for July 6th or in APAC July 7th. I have to remember that. First item is welcome Amar to the team.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be here.
I'm going to do a 60-second overview of what you're doing and what you used to do, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, for sure. Hello, I'm Amar Patel. I am the engineering manager of the Secure Static Analysis Group. Prior to coming here, I worked at a company called Active Campaign. I was the engineering manager, application security, product security, and platform security. So did that for a little bit, was an engineer on the team as well in the previous lifetime. And yeah, just happy to be here and contribute towards the secure stage.
Cool. So on item 2, I'd like to actually read these two things out loud. We actually did this in Christopher's staff meeting, but it's not going to be me. Any volunteer to read I, and any maybe a different volunteer to read the Roman numeral 2?
Yeah, I'll take one. Company vision. GitLab Incorporated develops great open source software to enable people to collaborate in this way. GitLab is a single application based on convention over configuration that everyone should be able to afford and adapt. With GitLab, everyone can contribute.
I'll grab 2. All right, development vision. A world-class development team of software engineers and managers who make our customers happy when using our products. Our products should contain broad, rich features, high availability, high quality, fast performance, trustworthy security, and reliable operation.
Neat. All this makes sense to me. I'm a little puzzled on convention over configuration. Like I read that and I go, what does that really mean? What does that really mean to others?
I think it means developing standards, like enough to support most companies. We're not going to go crazy allowing customers and companies to configure the heck out of GitLab, make it their own product. That's just too expensive.
It's that's out of the Agile manifesto, and it's something that Ruby on Rails adopted very early on. So I think that's where the alignment comes.
Anything else jump out at the group?
I think I see it as a way to build patterns and not so much a bunch of custom configuration, but patterns that configs can then.
Cool. So on to C, just summary from Juliana. I'm actually just going to read the summarize and read what's in bold here. So 360 feedback cycle, it's optional. I highly recommend it, but it is definitely optional. I'm going to do it myself. The window for 360s will run from July 25th to September 23rd, and more details will be shared about the process for opting in over the next few weeks. So really an FYI there. Also from Juliana and FYI, I copied these from my boss's Christopher staff meeting. The particularly interesting ones that I thought this group would be interested in is engagement survey, the culture amp engagement survey. Managers, y'all should have already received your reports. You are all supposed to have reviewed your reports and brainstormed on action plans in your team meetings. And the due date for finalizing action items is the end of July. So we've got some time to do that. And then in August, incorporate the actions into OKRs where appropriate. And I did create an issue for across my teams, which actually that is the next issue there in E. I've seen some feedback from some already, some collaboration, which is great. Feel free to review it and add feedback and thoughts if you have any. I just got access, like in the last hour, to more granular splitting of the data. So I couldn't like compare across teams to see if there's any uniqueness there. Like this team really is happy about this, really unhappy about that. The other team is not. Kind of comparing growth and model ops and sec. So I'm going to do that. but I just got access. So anyway, that's the timeline and the plan, et cetera. Any questions about 360s or engagement surveys? All right, Phil, you've got hallway item, first item in the hallway.
Yeah, I was having a chat with Neil around the IMOC rotation. And I realized, Neil, I am on the rotation starting in about 2 weeks. So lucky I checked the schedule. Curious to see who else is rolling on in this quarter, and any tips from those who've been doing it for a while.
I'll give you my thoughts. I think Neil's been doing it a while as well. I think others have as well. So I put some notes in here. So first is don't act until you get a PagerDuty page. It's kind of something you might want to go look at the IMOC channel or the incidents channel and start engaging before they say need you. But I'd say only 10%-ish of the incidents actually need an IMOC. So you might be getting up to speed on something then you don't track. So if you do, so wait for the PagerDuty page. If you do get the page, join the Slack channel, review the issue, and join the Zoom. If you see that teams are getting off track or need help, your job is engaged to help them. Some anti-patterns to keep an eye on. Keep teams focused on resolving the incident and document, but not focus on the RCA while the incident is open. It's really easy to start working at, oh, this is really frustrating. Let's go work on the, let's figure out how to avoid it in the future. That's great, but that can take us away from resolving the incident itself. People may not ask for help if they need it. Ask if people need help. People also may want to focus too much on async when sync is often key for timely incidents resolution. So I've seen people on call say, oh, let's just coordinate in Slack, or let's just coordinate issue comments. And it's like a Sev one. I'm like, oh no, it's, we need to resolve it potentially quicker than that. So let's stay on Zoom and figure it out. Also, to know when you're on the rotation, there's a way to add your PagerDuty rotation as a Google Calendar thing for yourself, so you can know when you're on. I don't know if that's clear in the instructions or not, but there's some things I've noticed. Neil, looks like you have some thoughts as well.
Yeah, so I was pleasantly surprised when I got back from PTO that I was in the rotation. I had a PagerDuty account, yay. And then Lucas, Charles in our department, we swapped. So I'm actually a week earlier. So my first rotation's in 2 weeks. So yeah, kind of getting going on that. There was a meeting yesterday. It's every Tuesday. There's 2 sessions. I think it's weekly. It was a great time to ask questions, and there's a lot of acknowledgement that there's a lot of new people in the rotation. So it's a great Q&A session. I think you'll get added to that automatically when you add yourself to the Google group for incident management for the IMOC group. But 2 things that stuck with me in that was the incident management channel. Join that, so it's in Slack, but also set up notifications now. So you just get pinged, as soon as there's an instance. Unfortunately, there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of Sev 3s and Sevs 4 happening. So it's not stuff that PagerDuty is going to get kicked off for. And then the other thing is when that happens, everyone should feel free to jump in and shadow those via Slack and Zoom. Tiago, you have something.
I'm just gonna make it clear for those that don't know that the PagerDuty rotation does not look at your PTO routes. So if you have upcoming leave, anything booked, cross-check. And then the usual thing to do is just go to incident management and ask if someone can take your shift or shifts. It's usually pretty straightforward. For the person who's taking it, they go in there, add an override, and most requests get done in like 24 to 48 hours. And I've added the link that Wayne mentioned there.
The other thing, I remember my first IMOC duty before, I was super anxious. I was like, I don't understand every part of the entire system where it could break. And can I help? Am I going to help more than I'm going to hurt? You don't need to assume you understand the system as well to be an IMOC. It's about kind of overall coordination and listening to the people and getting them the help they need, not to go, oh, it's a sidekick job in this part of the system that you've never even heard of, and you're being asked to help resolve that. No, you get the right people from the teams to help resolve the issues. So don't be too worried about not knowing the portions of the system that may come up in the incident. It's good to know them, but it's surely not a requirement to be an IMOC.
Great, there's some really good feedback in there from all of you. I really appreciate that. Just on your last point, Wayne, that's something Neil and I touched on yesterday. Is previously when I've done this, it's been for applications that I was writing and applications that I've been managing for years, where you know the domain really well. And I think it's going to be quite a different role here, stepping back and just making sure that we have the right people on the call and that everyone else knows what needs to be done. Yeah. So cool. Thank you all for your feedback. Appreciate it.
Good.
All right, I've got next. So I know this is a really pithy kind of series of questions, but we've got some teams that have some big events that are coming up later this year that are worth celebrating. And these aren't things that are not, I mean, they're working towards like the two that are coming to mind. I'm going to risk saying them. So apologies for violate keeping this information safe. But like DAST trying to be evaluated for complete. We're looking at browser-based DAST as something that these are big things that the teams have been working on for months, if not for over a year. But we've admitted, at least within SEC, we've admitted for the past 2 years that we've done a horrible job celebrating big events or just celebrating end of year or just celebrating the team. So this is kind of, I'm starting the question early. How can we better celebrate these things? Do we have any ideas other than just more swag?
Yeah, I don't have any great ideas because celebrating async is not easy. But not sure, but we surely should celebrate important events and milestones more. We have a tendency to not do that, not just in our teams, but in engineering overall and probably GitLab overall, perhaps.
I think it can be a trap that engineering teams fall into. We're so focused on what we're doing and what's coming next that we don't take the time to stop and celebrate what we've done. Maybe that's an action item for this group, as we can think over the next month or so about how we can celebrate these things better. We did talk about, maybe it was in this meeting a week or two ago, about having another social day, and we could incorporate this into that social day. First part of that could be a recording, perhaps that this group does, where we celebrate everything we've achieved over the quarter, and then we go off and play some games and have some fun.
Is that equivalent to GitLab team days, the social days that we were referring to?
Yeah, so different teams run them differently, but obviously we're on multiple time zones, so we usually set up 2 or 3 different sessions. The session can be as short as an hour, or it can be up to 3 or 4 hours. And we just ask for feedback from the wider team. What do you want to do during these sessions? There's often a bit of, just a social catch up. We often go and play some games online. People share things. We've had cooking shows where someone's come in and done some live cooking. We've had people demonstrating prowess in playing musical instruments and done that over Zoom. And it's just more social. It's really whatever the team wants to do. I mean, look, I'll take an action item to create an issue, and we can discuss how and when we want to do a social team activity for this group. Yeah.
What do you think, Jay and Mon? It's okay to not have feedback on things. That is no, you haven't had anything to say yet in this meeting, which again is fine, but do you have any thoughts on this topic?
Yeah, I think, I mean, definitely praise, I feel like is a big thing. Like when you call out your team for achieving something, I'm assuming that you're building that blog post or building that dialogue, or you'll have that dialogue when it's ready. But aside of a social day, I'm not sure what else we can do asynchronously aside of like, hey, here's $100 dinner benefit or something like that. Like go celebrate with the people around you. So something like that.
Yeah, I think Yeah, I agree. We do it a lot less. So, but it's not also my personal nature to do it less. So I feel it depends how we structure the team and sort of always reroute like, yes, we've done something, let's celebrate that and then kind of move forward. So even for us, we have a huge milestone coming up for I think August with the first feature for ModelOps to be released. So yeah, I'm thinking about how best to sort of put that together. It's something that it started as a one single engineer, and then the team has grown, and it's going for a year to put it. But it is hard, but it's also important to be able to reflect. The one thing, at least the team has been on, because we've been set up in a couple of, we've had 3 milestones to actually build this, and our milestones, they work a little different. They're almost 3 months. And so that just having even the retro on those milestones actually helps celebrating them as well. Just looking at what we've also achieved, and then being able to plan for the next one as well. So yeah, I think it needs to be unconsciously as part of the everyday work as well, which it's not.
Tiago, it looks like you've got some comments too. And Neil?
I was sharing a personal experience. I just go for something nice with the family, either dinner with my wife or take the kids out for a day. I get the chance to try and explain to someone non-technical what it is that we do. Not always easy, but get it to a 20-second pitch where I don't lose her attention. So, well, what did we do to deserve this? So, well, we've done so and so. And I think it's important for the kids as well. They're going to join the workforce. And I like sharing with them, explaining to them that you can find a job with a company that cares about you as a human being, right? Not just as a cog in the machinery. And sharing that with them is important to me. So I would prefer to do something with the team, or as well do with the team, but the asynchronous nature makes it really difficult. And COVID did not make it easier for us. The travel grants not being available, because delayed celebration was always an opportunity, right? You bump into someone, it might not be a recent event that you're celebrating, but it's still a cause for celebration. Hey, we're together, we're meeting, let's do something fun. And that's me.
Yeah, and I fully support that. Like, I think it was a contribute, like it just $100 everybody got for contribute. I don't remember exactly, but my wife and I went and we had fun spending $100, $50 a piece on dinner. It's a neat challenge. It's not something you would normally do with your own money. And we both, were laughing just about being at a great company and having this opportunity. And it wasn't as good, like Tiago said, as celebrating with the team, but it was cool. Regarding team days, I love team days. I've had a lot of fun with the team. They're getting hard to coordinate. We didn't have a lot of attendance when we did one a few months ago. I linked up a couple bullet points up to the issue. It was just the coordination was difficult. Jonathan on Tiago's team spent a lot of time and was trying to push this, but just the volunteers to get events. So if we go with team day, let's just all like really join forces, over communicate, and make it really amazing.
Just a thought for folks who want to do this is maybe when doing these is posting a pic or two to the social channel for the team. Like, I celebrated with my family, the release of XYZ. They didn't know what places I was talking about, but I still did it. But we all see each other's faces with the same backgrounds generally, and not in other, except in the social channels, not, in lives other than, from here up in the same background. So it's sometimes nice to just see people living their life in other ways. Just a thought. Don't want to require people to post pictures like that if they don't want to. It's everything we had in the agenda. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.